guys, this is Sydney. Today I am finally here to talk about something that I've been taking part since months back, and I think quite a lot of you guys have actually seen the final product result of what I've been doing in the last few months, and it is about the new Innisfree My Palette. If you guys didn't know, Innisfree recently came out with not 40, not 100, but 140 new products, including eyeshadow, blush, highlighter, contour, corrector, concealer, and eyebrow products. When you go into the stores, you can actually see the products that are in this kind of plastic packaging, but the difference is that you can open it up like this and then simply take out the refill pan like this and attach it to your palette. As you guys may know, I'm a huge fan of single eyeshadows rather than the eyeshadow palettes that are out in the market. But the thing with single eyeshadows, they are not very travel friendly. So being someone who travels a lot, I found single eyeshadows to be quite annoying to carry around because they do take quite a lot of room, and sometimes you just forget some of the eyeshadows that you wanted to take with you. So I was really thrilled to see a palette that I can customize myself. I have actually put blushes, highlighter, contour, and eyeshadows in my palette. So I just thought it was super handy to customize your own palette, not with just eyeshadows, even with like concealers, correctors, brows, and the face products in a single palette. So I just thought that was very smart and handy. And this time Innisfree has partnered up with Colours, which is a company that specializes in the personal color consultations, and that's actually where I got my personal color consultation before. And they've actually divided the personal color groups to 7 different groups. So it's Spring Bright, Spring Light, Summer Cool, Summer Cool Mute, Autumn Warm and Autumn Warm Mute, and Winter Cool. So those were the 7 different personal colors, and each color came out with different makeup look using the corresponding colors from the new Innisfree products. And I was in charge of the Summer Mute look, which I did everything by myself at the shoot, and I'll probably insert the finished photo somewhere here. And I was quite nervous and I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I was happy to see the look that I have created myself at the shoot. So if you guys are wondering how I did this particular makeup look, go over to Innisfree's YouTube channel. They will have the 7 different videos of the 7 different looks. So out of 140 new products, it was very challenging to assemble my own palette. And you guys all know I do like certain color groups, so they might not look that special, but I have been reaching for this palette like crazy. In this video I'm going to show you guys 2 different looks using the palette that I have assembled myself. This one is more sort of the bolder and smokier look, and the other look is slightly more girly and romantic. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, in the month of May, if you buy 2 of these products, you would get one of their matte eyeshadows for free, which is my personal favorite out of all of the new products. So that's enough with the talking, and let's get on with the makeup. I'm starting off with my foundation, and for that I am using the Dior Skin Forever foundation. I am just blending that out using my damp sponge. And from this palette, I am taking the concealer. In this palette, I decided to put the eye primer, concealer, and eyebrow products because that's what I mainly do before I start with my eye makeup. So I just thought it would be convenient to put them all in a single palette. So I'm taking the eye primer from the palette, and then I'm setting that using the No Sebum translucent powder. And then I'm taking the lighter brow shade to roughly fill in any gaps in my brows. The thing I really like about these brow products is that they are not super pigmented, which means that it allows you to make your eyebrows to appear really natural. Then I'm taking this darker shade towards the end of the brows because that's where I don't have a lot of brow hair, so that's why I like taking a darker shade towards the tail of my brows. And from this bigger My palette, I am taking this matte skin color shade all over the lids, and I just thought this kind of shade is very basic but essential in an eyeshadow palette. And then I'm taking the mixture of this kind of toned down warm rosy shade and a pale pink shade, which both are matte. I'm just lightly sweeping that all across the lids because I don't want the eyeshadows to be too strong for this makeup look, so that's what I'm doing here. And I'm taking this kind of warm chocolatey shade and focusing that mainly in the very outer part of my eyes, because with my eye shape, the width of my eyes are pretty short, so I always make sure to elongate my eyes by putting a darker color in the outer corner. And again, I'm taking the mixture of the warm rosy shade and the pale pink shade I am taking in the bottom lash line. And taking the matte chocolatey shade, I am mainly focusing that in the very outer corner of my bottom lash line using this flat brush. And I'm taking the first skin tone shade to blend everything out. And since I wanted this look to be very girly and romantic, I just decided to not put any eyeliner. Instead, I just tightlined the eyes using a brown pencil liner. And I went ahead and did my usual mascara routine, and I just thought I would add some individual lashes because we didn't do any eyeliner today. And going back to the palette, I am taking this gorgeous champagne shade with pink glitters to bring some light and highlight the inner corners. Then I decided to put this flash toned pencil in the bottom waterline. Going back to the palette, I am taking the contouring shade in number 1, which I absolutely love because it's super natural. I'm taking that to contour my nose and go over my jawline as well for the appearance of smaller face. As you can see, it's not too red or too yellow, it's just so natural on my skin, so I decided to put that in the palette. And then I'm taking one of my favorite face products from the range, which is the highlighter in the shade number 1. I'm taking that on my nose bridge, my forehead and my cupid's bow as well. And I feel like this is my personal favorite shade from the blush range, which is in the shade number 1. I'm placing that on the apples of my cheeks, and I know this kind of shade isn't the best kind of color for my personal color, but I just cannot stop reaching for this shade. Then it's time to move on to the lips. I am taking this pale peachy shade all over the lips as a base for the lip color today. Then I'm taking this muted rosy shade in the very center of my lips, and I'm just mixing those two shades together. So that is the first look done using the My Palette, and it's time to move on to the second look. So here's me with the base and the brows done, and I'm just trying to show that I'm wearing something on the top. To start off the makeup, I am taking this mauvey rosy shade all over the lids as a base eyeshadow, and this kind of shade is really good for summer mid tones like me, so that's why I've put it in the palette as a transitional and a base shade. Going back to the matte skin tone shade, I am blending the first shade out. Then taking this purpley burgundy shade, I'm placing that in the very inner part of my lids so that my eyes appear wider, and I just think this kind of step is essential when you want your eye makeup look to appear a lot smokier. Then I'm taking the same shade in the very outer corner to create this kind of halo effect. And on top of that, I decided to take this gorgeous dark red tone brown shade with gold glitters running through, which I think everyone would love, so I highly recommend this shade to you guys. And since I wanted a bit more purpliness in the outer corner, I decided to mix these two shades and go over once again. And taking this toned down purpley glittery shade, I am placing that in the very center of the lids, and as you can see, although it's like a purpley mauvey base, since the glitters are gold, it's very wearable. And again, I am taking my time to blend everything seamlessly, and then I'm taking the matte burgundy shade in the bottom lash line. Usually I would only really focus it in the outer part, but I went all over for the smokiness of today's makeup look. Then I'm taking a brown pencil liner to do the eyeliner, and as I want this look to be a lot bolder and smokier than the first look, I'm winging the liner out upwards. Then I'm doing the final blending before moving on to highlighting the inner corner with this glittery kind of bronzy shade, which again I've been reaching for a lot on a daily basis. Then again, I went ahead and did my mascara routine, and I've applied the same individual lashes as I did in the first look. And moving back to the face makeup, I am taking the same contouring shade to contour my nose, but this time I am going slightly heavier as the eye makeup is a lot heavier and smokier than the first look. I am doing the same with the face contour and the highlight. And since the eye makeup is so strong, I didn't want the cheeks to stand out. So I'm taking this super pale pink shade and lightly going over my cheeks so that it doesn't fight with the eyes. Moving on to the lips, I am going to be taking these two products. I'm firstly going to take this deep, dusty, rosy liquid lipstick all over the lips. And I'm using a cotton bud to blend that out before taking this deep nudie My Lips But Better kind of shade in the outer part of my lips. So that's it for the second makeup look I have for you guys today. As always, thank you so much for tuning in till the end, and I'll talk to you guys again in my next video. Bye!